Welcome back, investors, to the Investing with Our YouTube channel for another portfolio update. And this one will be for the 4th week of March. And wow, what a week it was. It was probably the biggest losing week I've probably had since I started investing. So we ended last week on 116,930. In the beginning of the week, we went up to 117.7K. And then it was pretty obvious that the war in Iran wouldn't be finishing anytime soon, and the market kind of really collapsed. If we look at the VIX, it finished on 31, which is really, really high, and you can see the evidence of that within the portfolio right there. So we were down just under 6%, which is one of the biggest moves I've seen. It is what it is. Am I panicked? No, not really. With the situation as it is, unless that gets resolved, we're going to see a lot of volatility just like this. I'm just going to have to wait it out. I'll be able to start putting money into my ISA again in about a couple of weeks or so. And then I'm going to see if it's similar to this, then I'm going to be deploying the cash. So let's have a look at some of the positions. So Google down 9.37% for the week. Some destruction, especially here. Meta down 12.37%. So for me, this is something that if I had cash, I would buy now. Imperial Brands, generally this company does okay during volatility, but even then this one hasn't done great. Up 0.5% for the week. Robinhood down just over 7.5%. And this is nearing a 12-month low. If you see, it was $40 at a similar time last year. So this one has been hit really hard. Visa down just over 2% for the week. And you have Carnival, which is surprisingly actually pretty much break even for the week, especially since it's a travel company. I thought it would be hit a bit harder, but this one is doing okay. And this is something, if you look at the PE ratio for this company, it is 10.77. So that's pretty attractive. So this is something that potentially I might look to add to as well. I mean, there's so many good situations right now to be adding to when I do get my ISA allowance back. MasterCard, it moves to a very similar trajectory to Visa, down 2.66%, so not too bad. Then you've got Nvidia down 3.5% for the week. Tesla down 2%. Broadcom down just under 4%. But still, if you look at the year so far, if you look at the last 12 months, it's up over 75%. So this is a stock that's done really, really well. Microsoft down 6%. So this is a company that I do want to add to. Getting Microsoft under 400 is good. To get it at 350 is pretty awesome. And then if you look at the PE ratio at 22.2 for a company that last year did $280 billion in revenue, of which 100 billion was net income. So that's phenomenal numbers. So this is something that I would like to add to. Amazon down just under 3.5%. Then you got Centrica, which is pretty much break even, down 0.5%. This company is doing quite well. If you look at the last year, just under 35% in gains, and it pays a decent dividend too. United Health down 6.5%. So a lot of really solid red out there. But it is what it is, what you're going to do. It's part and parcel of being an investor. Oscar down just over 12.2%. You got IRN, which was hit hard last week at 15.5%. But for me, this is a buying opportunity at this kind of level, 35. It's a decent price. I think this company will recover, certainly from these levels anyway. You got Grab, which was absolutely break even last week. You don't often see absolute zero, but this one was that, which under the circumstances is not bad actually. Costco up 0.8%, which is good. You got Micron, which got hit hard because there was some news breaking where Google could utilize chips that relied on less memory. But my understanding is that that was an old article, but then that got regurgitated and then some people took hold. But we shall see. In terms of numbers, Micron is absolutely killing it, and the guidance for next year is good. So again, 16.66% down, but at 350 is actually a decent price. You got Apple, which was only down 0.3%. So one of the Mag 7s that did well last week. BMNR down just under 12%. ML down just over 1.5%. So it had actually a good week considering all of the turmoil out there. And then KLA down just over 4.5%. So that's it. Pretty brutal week. It is what it is until we see some kind of resolution in the Middle East, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be happening. We'll probably see a Trump tweet at some point trying to stop the bleeding of the markets, but right now the market isn't falling for it like it did previously. So it's just another case of just waiting and holding, and it will recover at some point, and it is what it is. So thank you very much for joining me on this video, and I'll see you on the next one.